continues our coverage now of the New York primaries live from First Niagara Center. We have Primary Tuesday tomorrow in New York. Millions of voters will go out to cast their ballots. We've shown you the polls and what the polls say, but there's no clear winner yet as to who will win the Democratic or the Republican races. There might be a winner in a different way, though, across the border in Canada. News 4's Ali Ingersoll crossed the border to see how the country could really have a major boom thanks to the political climate here in the United States.
Each year, hundreds of thousands of people are relocating, making Canada their new home.
Our government is very strong for its people. We have social assistance program, affordable housing, and best of all, free health care.
Canada is a very unique place to live. They feel safe. It's a friendly place. Plus, the value of their money is there.
Canadians believe they're among some of the reasons people, especially Americans, are coming across the border. Another reason they believe has to do with this year's election.
We look at what is the thing that pushes people over the edge or gets them looking, and absolutely, politics is getting them looking at Canada.
And people are looking. Google Trends show after Super Tuesday, the number of Americans searching how to move to Canada was at an all-time high. Paul Barron's a Toronto-based real estate agent, and he says there is an interest from Americans inquiring how to make the move.
People are looking at what life would be like in Canada, but I think that realistically there's a lot of other factors that come into play, but it certainly gets them talking.
Barron says Toronto's real estate market has been hot for several years now. Around 12% of their buyers are international.
Immigrants look at Canada as a very safe alternative.
Real estate prices are quite high now.
That's Doug Patrick, a Toronto resident who moved to Canada from Pittsburgh. He's just one of thousands of people from America moving for work.
I do feel like at least the job market in Toronto is pretty stable. There are a lot of young professionals getting jobs and choosing to work and live in Toronto because of that reason.
We have a lot of them here, and they look at it as a very safe place to invest their money, for sure.
We're seeing more people coming in because of the election in the States. We feel that I feel personally, there's more interest of wanting to come to Canada to invest.
Some people selling their real estate right across the border in Niagara-on-the-Lake are banking on a few factors to attract Americans.
The U.S. market, it's open. People are looking at it that way. Locally, not so much. I just think that for an investment, it's an investment.
Tony Morey's cottage-style house in Niagara-on-the-Lake is listed around $3 million Canadian, which is around 2.34 U.S. She says she's getting a number of inquiries, especially from New Yorkers.
Because it's kind of a unique house. It's priced a little bit higher than the average home, and it'll attract attention from, it has a unique buyer.
Americans are our friends, they're our allies, and we welcome their investment dollars because the more money that comes in, the better the environment, and I also feel the better the quality of people.
One person considering moving due to U.S. politics is Julie Aljabani.
I mean, it's either that or we're going to have like ID cards and numbers on our wrist. What are your alternatives at this point?
Aljabani is a Western New Yorker who lives and works in the region, and she says over the last few months, since things started heating up in the political race and immigration has become such a hot topic among candidates, she's felt threatened.
It definitely makes me nervous, and it makes me nervous that I don't know how clear that process is to move to Canada if that was an option.
We sat down with Michael Berger, who's an immigration lawyer, to hear about the process of what it would take for someone like Aljabani who's looking to obtain a visa.
People coming in better have, the best or better prepared petitions and properly prepared petitions in order to effectuate their entry into the United States or into Canada.
He says it can take anywhere from a few months to several years to receive a visa. And he tells us it's not uncommon for him to hear about people, especially those in minority groups, wanting to leave the U.S. due to how they're being treated.
They don't want to face the hostilities that they face in coming here, the discrimination that they face.
Something Aljabani says she's already facing and fears could worsen, pending the outcome of the 2016 presidential election.
That in itself is enough for me to start researching where we could go to be safe.
Reporting in Toronto, Ali Ingersoll, News 4.